Good morning. It's Tuesday Truth with Michelle, your agility coach. Last week I was talking about how important it was to get a daily dose of sunshine for your health. This week I didn't want to leave it, you know, that I was not, I didn't want to leave it at that. So I wanted to discuss how to protect yourself from the harmful um, ultraviolet rays. Now, ultraviolet rays, UV, are responsible for 80% of our facial signs of aging, such as wrinkling, dryness, sagging, and also pigment, uh, spotty pigments. UV induced aging is irreversible, and it's usually found on people with very fair skin who've had a lot of exposure to extreme sunlight. However, individuals of all skin types are susceptible to facial changes with UV radiation exposure. We can protect our skin and avoid these intense sun exposure by wearing sunglasses, sun-blocking clothes, and choosing a good sunscreen. And all of these are to protect ourselves against the ultraviolet radiation. Now, UV radiation can initiate inflammatory process in the skin, and in addition to that, it can, uh, destroy a lot of the other vitamins and antioxidants. UVB rays are the shorter wavelength, and they're stronger, and they're more high energy, and this what affects the DNA photoaging, and that's in the epidermis, the outer layer of skin. And this happens to be the chief cause of sunburn and skin inflammation. Now there's UVA rays, which prevent, it's a more of a longer wavelength, and it's weaker and lower energy. Well, however, this is the primary cause of skin aging and wrinkling. So there's two types of ultraviolet radiation that we need to protect ourselves from, and two different reasons why. Now, the eyes and the skin around the eyes is the most vulnerable place for damage by UV rays. And what we can do is, to protect this fragile area, also is it can also lead to eye damage. So, according to the American Academy of Ophthalmology, eye diseases are linked to UV exposure of inflammation, causing inflammation, cataracts, and even eye cancers. So, how do you protect yourself from your eyes against UV radiation? Well, buy a good pair of sunglasses. Anything from medium to dark, they wrap around your eyes is the best alternative. Now, for daily use, you're going to want sunglasses block the UVA rays about up to 92%, and the UVB rays up to 99%. So wear your sunglasses, when the sun is the most strongest, which is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then you can also wear a wide brim hat to protect yourself from if I could get it on right, there we go. Wide brim hat or a sun visor can also help, protect yourself and your eyes from the sun. So what about outer clothing? Well, ultraviolet light rays cannot penetrate clothing. So if you're wearing something light, you'll have more penetration than if you're wearing something dark or heavy or thickness. So this is called the ultraviolet protection factor. And we see this in clothes. They make this. Since 1992, the FDA has been watching the production of this clothesline, or clothesline, it sounds like you're going to hear clothes, this line of clothes that can protect your skin from the sun. This is especially good for golfers and fishermen and even people that swim. So you want to reduce the wavelength under 15, or anything over 15% is good for this kind of sun blocking. Now, denim jeans are going to have the highest UV protection, but who's going to want to wear dark jeans on a hot summer day? So you have to have, the higher the number, the SPF number, and the higher the UPF number, is the same, where you want to have a higher number for higher protection. Of course, in the real world, we're not going to worry about, wearing dark clothes, but you have to be mindful of it, that is the number one way to protect yourself against the sun. And here's another good essential tip. Never buy UPF clothing that has embedded with those harmful sunscreen chemicals, because they'll get by. You got to read labels. So how do you pick a good sunscreen? Well, there's so many to choose from, right? And you got to know what chemicals are harmful and which ones actually work. I don't go outside without a moisturizer with an SPF, good SPF, nor do I use any kind of light foundation without an SPF, because you don't know exactly when you're going to be going through this sunlight that's going to be harmful especially during midday. So, but according to the EWG, which is the Environmental Working Group, which is a forward-thinking companies and citizens that are concerned about environmental things, have some quick tips. Some of these you may have heard of, and some you may have not. One is no sunscreen sprays. Now, there you go. I know I've used them. I know other people use them. They're not good. First of all, they're great for, you think they're great for little kids. They're squirming all over, but it's a hit or miss thing. And it's, and you don't get the right amount. And besides, you're inhaling these harmful chemicals. So it's not a good thing. And the Food and Drug Administration is trying to weed those out, get those companies to stop producing those kind of sunscreens. No super high SPFs. Anything over 50 really doesn't work. So don't waste your money. You have, SPF stands for, as you know, sun protection factor. And it only protects against the UVB rays, which is for sunburn. Okay, that now gives you a very, a feeling insecure, a feeling that you're secure against the sun rays, but it isn't, because it really doesn't protect you against the UVA rays. So, and the UVA rays is what suppresses your immune system, accelerates aging, and may cause skin cancer. So, so you get this false sense of security from them. And the FDA is also limiting now trying to limit anything over 70 plus, like most other countries already have. The EWG also just recommends consumers just to avoid those kind of problems and labeled with anything more than an SPF 50. And regardless, don't even think about 100. Number 3 is no oxybenzone. And this is an endocrine disrupting chemical. And it's commonly seen in sunscreens. And it can penetrate the skin and go into your bloodstream. And it's like estrogen, and you can have allergic reactions to it. And you can also, there's been studies that indicate there's other links between health problems with this. No retinol. Now, we know retinol is good at night for anti-aging, right? But it's what they call a inactive ingredient. Why put an inactive ingredient that is harmful in a product that you don't, and it's not even needed in there? That's the good question, was why do they even bother putting more chemicals in things? So avoid anything that has retinol in it. This is one I haven't really heard of, and it's combined sunscreen with bug repellent. I haven't seen that one, but heaven to know if there's something for everybody. But again, it's extra chemicals going into your skin, and especially the getting bug repellent, all that extra bug repellent on the day where, maybe there's not even that many bugs in the sunshine. Now, this one I haven't heard of either, and this is no sunscreen towelettes or powders. Has anybody ever heard of that? I haven't. Well, the FDA's kind of put a push to that too, because it's all about the aerosols. Aerosols. Why have extra aerosols going into your lungs that can cause other problems? No tanning oils. Well, anybody my age used tanning oils when we were teenagers. Baby oil, a little iodine to give you color. That was the thing back then. Nowadays, there's still tanning oils, but they're so low in SPF that they're not worth it. And especially if they don't have any of the zinc oxide is what I'm trying to think of. Especially if it doesn't have zinc oxide in it, they're useless. So, however, for a sunscreen to live up to its advertised SPF values, you have to keep applying and reapplying these products often for them to even work. Research has shown that people don't even apply it where it needs to be. So what does this mean for you and me? Well, let's plan to go out with a good shirt, long pants, and like I said, who wants to go out in the bright hot sunshine covered that much? But clothing is your first choice of UV exposure. A colored shirt has more UV protection than a white shirt. Anything with a heavier weave will have stronger UV protection. But the excellent news, but the most clothing that comes with what's called UPF, which is, for material that's been tested, it has good guarantee against the strong UV radiation. So, but now to get serious, skin cancer, basal and squamous cell carcinoma, is the most common form of cancer in the U.S. And the rates of the rarest and most aggressive form, which is melanoma, these cases have tripled over the last 40 years. UVA, UVB can cause genetic mutations, and skin cancer can happen to anyone. So according to the national survey by the Federal Centers for Disease Control, fewer than 1 to 3 adults report even using sunscreen frequently. And even fewer say they use a hat or cover up with long sleeves. So, but I'm not an expert on skin cancer at all, but I am an expert on agility and skincare. But I have had friends that have found these tips to be very helpful, and I felt it was essential to share them with you. Until next week, the bottom line is trust your truth. And, if you want to prolong the health of your skin, avoid intense UV exposure and live your life with AGE-GILITY. Now, I'm going to put this in a blog. There's going to be more links because it is a very important topic. So if you want more information, more links, I didn't want, it's got pretty technical as it is, but there's more information that'll be posted on my webpage at michellereis.com. So see you next week. Enjoy the sunshine and cover your head and eyes and face. Bye now.